Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to share with you how to start your personal financial plan. So to start, it's actually very simple. All we need to do is to look at this financial building block. It's just a 3-tier building block. And it starts off with your protection plans, and then after that, your savings and investment. And then lastly, it's your legacy planning. So your protection plans are policies like your health insurance, your life insurance with any critical illness or this total permanent disability rider. It can also be your long-term care or your personal accident plan. The second tier, which is savings and investment, is basically anything that can help you grow your money. It can be stocks and shares, your bonds, any mutual funds, Singapore savings bonds or endowment plan, or even your CPF. And the last tier, which is legacy planning, is all the tools that you want to use so that you can distribute your assets the way that you want it to be distributed. These are things like nomination for your insurance policies and also to write a will. So why do we need to start off from the protection plan and then the savings plan and then legacy planning? The reason is because financial planning is actually a way to manage your financial risk and to maintain a standard of living for you and your loved ones. And on the protection plan will give you a larger amount of payout in the event of something bad happening, which any savings and investment plan will not be able to match. If let's say, if I'm the sole breadwinner of the family and I have a wife and 2 young kids and I don't have any insurance or investment plans, let's say if I have a budget of $1,000, right? I would definitely put the $1,000 into a protection plan first, because if something bad were to happen to me, the life insurance policy will pay a large sum of money to my family members to make sure that they can maintain their standard of living and not go through any financial hardship. But with that said, does it mean that you cannot start off with savings and investments? No, of course not. That means, of course, you can start off with savings and investments. You can do whatever you want. But I would suggest that if you want to start off with savings and investments, it's better to start. If you don't have anyone who is dependent on you, then yeah, you definitely can start off with savings and investment to help you grow your money a bit faster. However, if you don't have any dependent on you, you also don't want to be a liability to them. So I would think that for protection plan, it is still important to have your hospitalization plan or let's say your personal accident plan, so that in the case of hospitalization, your family members don't have to fork out a large sum of money in order to help you pay for your medical bills. After we have all our protection policies in place, we can now move to the savings and investment portion. And the whole purpose of having savings and investments is just to help you grow your money and also to beat inflation. Now, you can use the money from your savings and investments to do anything, like to plan for retirement, to plan for your children's education, or your dream vacation, or even to buy a car. Basically, you can use the money to do anything you want. And after the savings and investment portion, we now move on to legacy planning. That is usually when you're about 50 or 60 years old and above. You've accomplished most of your goals, your children are all grown up, and you're thinking about how to pass on your assets to your loved ones. And that can be accomplished by a nomination for your insurance policy. So let's say if you have a whole life plan, for example, you can actually nominate how many percent of the payout you want to go to each of your children or your wife or your grandchildren or whichever. The second way you can do it is by a will. Because insurance nomination is only for insurance policies, there are other assets such as your investments, your property, and also maybe your expensive watches or jewelry that you want to pass on to your children or your grandchildren. Having a will is a very good way for you to distribute your assets according to how you want it to be distributed. Having a will doesn't limit you to only distributing your assets to your children or your grandchildren or even your family members. You can also distribute any of your assets to any charity organization if you want to, or if you have any extra, you can pass it to me. So we're almost at the end of the video, but before we end, let us just do a quick recap. Firstly, why we need to do financial plan is because financial planning is a risk management tool to help us maintain the standard of living for us and for our loved ones. And secondly, in order to start financial planning, it is recommended that you start from the protection plan first, and then the savings and investment, and then lastly, legacy planning. I hope you find this video useful, and if you like, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe to this channel. It will really help me out. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.